Hello everyone. Myself is Rajni. I'm a lecturer in Civil Engineering Department from Government Women's Polytechnic Bangalore, which comes under Department of Collegiate and Technical Education. I welcome you all for today's session, which I'm going to tell you about the canal head regulator as a part of diversion head works, which comes under Unit 5 of the Diploma 5th semester curriculum in the subject Water Resource Engineering. So let's get started. So the content for today's session is the canal head regulator, as I said, the functions of canal head regulator and the types of regulations which is used in canal head regulators are the topics which I'm going to cover in today's session. So coming to the canal head regulator, so we all know what is a regulator is. Regulator means what? The something which controls, is it not? Here also a head regulator is a hydraulic structure which is constructed at the head of a canal taking off from a reservoir behind a weir. So a hydraulic structure which is constructed at the head of canal taking off from the reservoir of a behind a weir is a head regulator. So what do you mean by canal head regulator? Yes, it is a structure which is constructed at the head of main canal to regulate the flow of water is known as the canal head regulator. Similarly, when the structure which is constructed at the head of distributary to control the flow of or to control or to regulate the flow of water, it is known as the distributary head regulator. I repeat, the structure which is constructed at the head of main canal, which is taking off from reservoir behind a weir, is known as the canal head regulator. So let us see how this canal regulator is. So this is the structure or the alignment of a canal head regulator. This is the water flow. In this direction, the river is flowing. The water flow direction is in this direction. So the canal, this is the weir, this is the weir, and we have provided a canal head regulator at this point. This is the off-taking canal. So this is the off-taking canal, and we have provided a regulator here. So this regulator is known as the canal head regulator. So I repeat the definition once again. The structure which is constructed at the head of the main canal, okay, to control or to regulate the flow of water is known as the canal head regulator. So this is the main canal, or this is the river flow direction. This is the off-taking canal. So this is this here the construction, here the structure is constructed at the head of this main canal. So this structure is known as the canal head regulator. So this is how it will look. This is how it will look when you see outside. Means on-site view will be like this. The picture which is put in the slide. So the river flow is in this direction. This is the off-taking canal. The structure which is provided at the head of this off-taking canal is known as the canal head regulator. Okay. So this is regarding the canal head regulator. So for what function is this canal head regulator is provided? So let us see what are the functions of the canal head regulator. So the main or the preliminary function of canal head regulator is to what? To admit the water into off-taking canal. The preliminary function is to admit the water into the off-taking canal and to regulate the supplies into the canal. By admitting the water, we are regulating the supplies into the canal. By regulating the supply of water into the canal, we are measuring the discharge of water. We are also doing what? We are measuring the discharge of water. So The function of canal head regulator is to admit the water into the off-taking canal, to regulate the supplies, and to serve as a meter to measure the discharge of water, and to control the silt entry into the canal. It will also control the silt entry into the canal. So these are major functions of canal head regulator. So this is the alignment of canal, which we saw in the previous slide also. This is the alignment of canal. So here we are admitting the water into the off-taking canal by regulating the supplies, which is also served as a meter to measure the discharge of water, and also it is doing what? It is controlling the silt entry into the canal. So let us understand the canal head regulator properly. How the canal head regulator should be. The waterway of a head regulator should be sufficient to supply full discharge of the canal. So the waterway of the head regulator should be large enough to supply the sufficient discharge. It should be large enough, or it should be sufficient enough to discharge the full supply into the canal. So normally these regulators are aligned at 90 degree. These regulators are aligned at 90 degree with respect to weir. So this is our weir. Our regulator is aligned at 90 degree. Normally 90 degree, but greater angles are also preferred up to 110 degree for providing smooth flow. So the head regulators are normally aligned between 90 degree and 110 degree for providing a smooth entry. Okay, so then in order to prevent the spilling of water towards the canal during high floods. So what happens when when there is a flood, when there are high floods? Obviously there will be more flow of water. So when there is more flow of water, there will be chances of spilling of water into the canal, So in order to prevent the spilling of water towards the canal during high floods, a reinforced concrete breast wall is provided from pond level to the high flood level. So this is the breast wall. So breast wall is provided for what? The purpose of the breast wall is what? To prevent the spilling of water towards the canal during the high floods. This breast wall is provided, and this breast wall is provided between the pond level and the high flood level. It will go more than the high flood level. It'll be raised more than the high flood level. So this breast wall is supported between the piers, and it is designed for its self weight as well as the water pressure from upstream. So it is designed only for the self weight and the water pressure, to withstand the water pressure from the upstream. So this is the cross section of the canal head regulator. So this is the breast wall. During the floods, there is a chance of spilling of water into the canal. So to avoid or to prevent the spilling, the breast wall is provided between the pond level and the high flood level. It will go above the high flood level. So the breast wall so provided has to withstand the pressure from the upstream. It has to withstand the pressure from the upstream, as well as it has to withstand the self weight. Okay, so this is the road, and this is the cross section of a head regulator. So for proper operation, the canal head regulator may consist of number of spans separated by piers. So it consists of number of spans which is separated by piers. So this is the head regulator. For proper operation, the canal head regulator is divided into number of spans which is separated by number of piers, and these are operated by gates. So these are the gates. These are the piers, and again the number of piers and the gates and the entire structure depend upon the size of the canal. So depending upon the size of the canal, the number of piers and number of spans are decided. Okay, so this is a pier and this is the gate. The stability of the pier of head regulator should be tested to withstand the overturning moment caused by the high pressure head during the floods. So during the high floods, there will be a lot of pressure, water pressure, right? So when there is a lot of water pressure, there are chances of developing a overturning moment. So the structure may have to face the overturning moment during the high floods. So our piers are designed in such a way that it should have a stability to withstand the overturning moment. So overturning moment of has to be checked to withstand. So this moment has to be uh, this overturning moment caused by the high pressure head during the floods has to be withstanded by the pier.
So this is the canal to which the regulator is provided. This is the canal, the main canal, to which the regulator is provided. You can see the regulator here. This is the regulator which is provided. This one is the regulator, you can see here. Yeah. So this is the water water flowing through the regulator, water flowing to the other side of canal through the regulator. This will be shown here now. The other side it is. See here, the water is flowing. This is the gate through which the water enters to the off-taking canal. So this is the gate which is regulated to control the water flow. Okay, so this is one side. The other side is like this. This is the other side of the. This is the other side. See how it is provided. Hope you have understood the canal head regulator properly.
So what are the types of regulations which is used in canal head regulator? Let us see. There are two methods of regulations adopted at head regulator, that is the still pond regulation and the open flow regulation. The main idea behind providing this method of regulation is to control the entry of silt. As we all know, silt is one of the biggest problems. Since the silt cannot be eliminated completely, we can control it to certain extent. So the deposition of silt will obviously reduce the capacity of the canal, and hence that has to be controlled. And we are adopting these two types of regulations to control the entry of silt. That is, one is still pond regulations, the other one is the open flow regulations. So let us see the still pond regulation. So this is the plan of a still pond regulation. Here the canal draws water from a still pond. So this is our the head regulator. This is our canal, and this is the weir. The canal head regulator is provided at a right angle to the weir, and this is the head wall. So as we all know, the water will be having lot of fluctuations. The water is having a lot of fluctuation, and it is very difficult to make the water still. running water cannot be still, but we are drawing the water from a still pond into the canal. So how does this happen? So this can be done by providing a divide wall. See, this is the divide wall. When the divide wall is provided, the water fluctuation is reduced to certain extent, and the water which is entering into the canal will made relatively still. The water which is entering into the canal will be made relatively still with the help of a divide wall. So the water in excess of canal requirement is not allowed to escape under the sluice. So these are the sluice gates of the weir. So the excess water is not allowed to escape under the sluice. The velocity of the water in the pockets, this is the pockets here, the tunnel pockets, tunnel-like pockets are created. Okay, the tunnel-like pockets are constructed over which the water flows. So the velocity of water in the pocket is very much reduced here. The water velocity is very much reduced when the silt has a level of about half to 1 meter below the crest level of the regulator. The entire canal is closed, and here the sluice gates are opened, and the silts are the deposited silt is removed. The scoring, it is open to score the deposited silt. So this is the still pond regulation. Here what? The canal draws water from a still pond. The water in excess of canal requirement is not allowed to escape. The velocity of water in the pocket is very much reduced when the silt has a level of about 1.5 meter below the crest level of head regulator. The canal head regulator is closed and the sluice gates are opened to score the deposit. So this is the still pond regulation. The other one is the open flow regulation. Here the sluice gates are open and allow excess of canal requirement. So it is the sluice gates are opened and it allow the excess of water into excess of water. It allows more water than the canal requirement. The top water passes into the canal. The top water always passes into the canal. The bottom water remains under certain velocity in the pockets to keep the silt to remain in suspension. The bottom water remains in the water which is having more silt content will remain in suspension. The water which has less less silt content will will pass on the top of canal. So the canal is not closed for scoring the silt. Here the canal is not closed for the scoring purpose. Here the sluice gates are open and allow the excess of allow the water in excess for the canal requirement. The top water passes into the canal. The bottom water remains maintain certain velocity in pockets to keep the silt to remain in suspension. Here the canal is not closed for scoring the silt. So this is with respect to the canal head regulation. So far we discussed what is a canal head regulator, where it is situated, why it is called the canal head regulator, and what are the functions of canal head regulator, and also what are the regulation types of regulations which we adopt for a canal head regulator. That is, one is the still pond regulator, and the other one is the open flow regulations. So this covers our today's session. So the reference is from the Punmiya textbook, that is Irrigation and Water Power Engineering, Dr. Punmiya, and also with the link which I have provided here. Thank you all for watching the session. Meet you in the next session. Thank you.